Good afternoon. I thought maybe it was finished, but it's not. There's a question on the table. But first I want to start with the saying that I wrote on the board and that I purposely put at an angle on the door, hoping you all would read it. And in case you missed it, I'm tricky that way. I like to see if you noticed it. If not, the saying is, self is the only prison that can ever bind the soul. And it's a little s. And it's kind of what we've been talking about. We've been talking about freedom, faith, fear, fruitage. And the question is along that line, but I want to use a sentence that is very, very powerful sentence. And it's especially a sentence that infinite way students, mystical students, people seeking high spiritual altitudes don't like hearing. God can only meet you where you are. Not where you want to be. Not where you can convince yourself you might be. Not where you can pretend to be in front of other people, putting on that happy face, putting on that smile. But when it comes down to where the rubber meets the road, God can only meet me where I am. And from that position or that posture is the lifting. There's a posture that was brought to, actually this particular religion is very good at the posture of getting on your knees. And it's a posture I like physically too. When all else fails, hit your knees, give up, surrender. I can't do it anymore. I'm turning it over. I have to walk away from it. I have to let go. I have to drop the rock. I have to just be where I am and ask for help. And when I can't remember, I call somebody who can remind me of that which I need to be hearing. I need to be hearing my identity, my true identity. I need to be hearing that it's all right now. One of the acronyms for fear, there's many of them. I'll go through a couple of them, which the first one I ever heard was fear, false evidence appearing real. It's a pretty common one. But how often do you really, really live that? Oh, false evidence appearing real. Fear. I'm hearing lies again. Another one is face everything and respond. But my favorite rings for me, forgetting everything's all right. Sweet, simple. That little scared part of me. We're using a new word these days, I hear from Lee and Paulina, facet, that little facet of ourselves. Instead of using the kid work, we're using facet and trying that on and seeing how that works. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a young aspect or facet of our being as much as it's an immature facet, one that hasn't honed the muscle of knowing, or that they're forgetting everything's all right. So God can only meet us where we are. And coming through again, the saying of Abraham Lincoln that always rings for me when we get into this fear thing versus faith. And Abe said, many a time have I fallen to my knees, for I simply had nowhere else to go. And there's just absolutely nothing wrong with that posture. It's a posture of physical surrendering And aren't we, isn't that what we're surrendering to? The physical illusion, the physical third dimensional world. We're surrendering to, I'm about to buy this image, or I have bought this picture, and I'm forgetting that right here, where is this picture, is trying to get my attention, trying to distract me from God, trying to take me away from my soul self, my spirit self, trying to pull me over here. And as Barbara Muhl always said, it's only two things that can get me off the path. It can't get on and pull me off. I have to turn. I have to get off the path into fear, or I have to be enticed or distracted off the path. And what's the path? The path is I. The path is God. The path is soul, spirit, self, whatever you want to use as a synonym. I, the Christ consciousness, the Buddha mind. I'm right here. I'm standing. I'm on it. And all of a sudden, something over here is convincing me otherwise. Or something over here looks really good. How about I start desiring that? And, I'll just take a little bit. I won't go all the way. I'll just indulge a little bit over in that direction. Boom, before you know it, not only am I over there enticed, I'm either getting what it is I desire or I'm not getting it, but either way, it returns back to a prison. It returns back to me losing my freedom. It turns back into fear because I've now separated from God, which is here, which is now, which is only always, which is real, which is that which is eternal, never-ending, God here now. So the way we know whether we're free or not free is whether we are reacting or not to the outer. And also I was asking about the class this morning, and I was told it isn't the work that's been done, it's the work that will be this year ahead of all of us. It's honing this, it's practicing this, it's practicing mysticism, it's practicing knowing that right there where this picture, this image is coming forth. Illusion, hypnotism, the movie. Let's walk out of the movie. Let's get back on the path of I, presence, now. Out of the movie. Earlier was said, the only sin there is the sense of separation, being separate from God. And both of those things, fear or desire, pulls me off. Now I'm not talking about divine desire to know God aright. I'm talking about desire for something out in the third dimension. Person, maybe I want that person to love me, like me, approve of me, validate me, marry me, whatever it is I'm wanting. Or perhaps I'm wanting that job or that money or that supply or that talent, or it's wanting. The reason it's such a sin is I already have. It's just that it doesn't appear in the movie that I want to write about it. But right here where I am is the only love I will ever know, and it has to flow through me and out. The only recognition I will ever really know is God recognition. And when I don't remember, I get near somebody that will remember for me and snap me back. It's like when a cat, it's got that attention on that mouse. You go up and you clap your hand, and that cat will just break the hypnotism just long enough for that mouse to get away. Well, it's like that with us. We don't slap each other, but we do recognize and we do say, hey, what lie are you believing? What are you forgetting? You're forgetting everything's all right. And if I'm in fear, I'm not in faith. That's a statement that's been said for years. Of course I'm not. If I'm in fear, I'm in fear. But when a little child is afraid of the dark, we don't smack it. We take it up in our arms and we explain. There's nothing there, honey. Here, let me shine the light on the darkness so that you're no longer afraid. And you see, we can't turn darkness on and off, but we can turn our light or turn away from our light, and there appears darkness. And now if we focus on, I must get rid of that darkness, I must get rid of it. There's no switch for darkness. You can't turn darkness off. You can only turn light on. And in the turning on the light, it disappears. So whatever the fear is out there, I'll never be loved, I'll never work again, I'm never going to amount to anything, I'm going to die alone. Oh, do I hear that one? I'm going to die alone, people will say. And I'm thinking, you want people around watching? God! I pray I do die alone, Can't be pretty. Not when it appears the carcass looks like it's going. Can't be a pretty picture. And it's funny the fear, I'll die alone, they'll leave me. So funny when it hit me a few years back when people were, I'm so afraid that, here's this job that's driving me crazy for 10 years, but I'm so afraid I'm going to lose it. And then I'll say, okay, let's pretend you've lost it. Now what? Well, now what? Now what? What's left? Peace. Such peace. It's so funny. The very things you're afraid. What if he leaves me and he's driving me crazy, right? Or she's driving me crazy. Or the kids are driving me crazy. Well, what if they don't love me and what if they leave me? Oh, such peace. They've left. Oh, such peace. So, we're so funny. God love us. He's trying to remove from us all the things that are driving us crazy and all the irritations and anxieties. And we're going, no, stay and love me, stay and love me. Please go, just go. What peace. Anyway, the path has to be humorous. And here we are. Here we are again, down to another question regarding this illusionary world that we appear to all be in together. I'm listening to your question this morning. What is it you are holding on to? And what do you want to let go of? My answer was instantaneously my agenda. Amen, huh? I know the words let go and let God, but I don't experience it much. It never feels. I don't feel that I'm letting go and letting God. The magic word, and you said it many times in quotation marks, is knowing, to know God aright. I know the word know, but don't yet trust or know how to experience the knowing. And there's every question, there's a perfect example of every question having the answer right within it. And those three words, experience the knowing. Because knowing can only come from putting the body or the emotional body or the spiritual body through it. So knowing is because you've experienced it. You know, if you fall in if someone tells you don't fall in that hole there, you go down and you think, well, how bad could it be? And then you fall in the hole and we all drag you out, or however you get out, and then you stand there and then you go, oh, I don't believe I shouldn't fall in the hole anymore. I know I shouldn't fall in the hole anymore. So believing and knowing are two different things, and knowing is an experience. And right behind it is coming the lies that we tell each other. We all have had many opportunities of having a knowing where we just know something is to be. I just know I'm supposed to go there. I just know, I don't know why. I can't put words around it, but inwardly I just know. I just know it. I don't believe it. It's like believing in a God, but without the experience of God, I don't know God. And whoever wrote this question has been knowing God for the last 24 hours, for sure. Because this has been a knowing, a silencing down, a quieting down, a letting it go, letting it be. And the very act of writing the question is letting go. Of just letting go that moment of thinking I have any power over controlling any of it. Many a time have I fallen to my knees where I simply had no more answers, had no more where to go, had not one more ad to answer in the newspaper or one more book to read that will lead me the way, especially the self-help books. There wasn't one more left that I could possibly stomach to help me get what I want, or guarantee that I am not going to lose what I have already that I want, and I got it like this in my fist, and I'm not letting go. But oh, the freedom of opening that hand and letting it go. And guess what happens? The hand is now empty. And what can happen? Oh, the coming in. Oh, the coming in. Maybe the coming in takes a long time of emptiness. And I sit there and the hand feels like this. And I go, but there's nothing there. There's no thing. That's right. There's no thing. But when I really, really look at that hand, I can experience no thing of peace, of wow, how cool emptiness really is. And just before a class, usually starts about 6 months before a class of this nature, everything around me starts dissolving. Nothing tastes as good, nothing feels, nothing, it's just an odd thing. And it almost feels like barren, like I'm walking through a desert and there's nothing blooming. And I thought, what is this about? And all I do is just keep walking. And then finally I said, what's this about? And I heard, you're emptying out. I'm emptying you, rather. I'm emptying you out because, as you all know, we can't pour we can't pour new, I'll use the word milk, into a container with old information or old milk. It can't happen. You're just going to drag up the stuff of the past. And truth is fresh, is alive, is flowing moment by moment, all the time. And you better give up what you knew yesterday or thought you knew, and I'm not speaking of knowing now. Let me use the right terminology here. I have to give up what I believed to be true yesterday in order for me to walk into and experience something that is going to give me a solid foundation of knowing for today, but just for today. And I believe we fool ourselves a lot. No, I know we fool ourselves a lot. We lie to ourselves and say, I don't know, when we really do, because when we really stop and say, look down into our heart and out of that head, with the words, out of that head, down into the heart, are you sure you don't know? Are you sure? And sure enough, there it is, deeper and deeper, pulling me in, putting its arms around me. And I get to bask in that knowing. And what is it I know? I know nothing. I know powerlessness. I know that that which goes before me makes these crooked ways straight. I could not design the things that will happen tomorrow. The things that happened yesterday, I could not have guessed were going to happen. But I show up and I watch, and when it gets unreal out there, something that isn't, remember now, when it's real, it's permanent, it's not going to change, it's not going to be movable. So when I look out there and I realize it's something that's going to pass, this too shall pass, then I know that it's non-reality. I know then it's hypnotism. I know then I've been duped. I was going to say duped again, but that's not the word. It's close to that. Duped. I've been duped again, into believing something. So when I have let go of something, I already have forgotten that I had a hold of it, and I forget that I do know how to let go. I have to sit down and I have to write the times that I've had divine interventions in my life and look at them in black and white and then go, oh yeah, power greater than myself, my little self, not separate and apart from, right here where I am. It's sad that we separate little s from big S, but it's just for the ability to understand laying down before thee and turning it over and giving it up and giving it over. All those things that I of my own self, as the Master writes, I of my own self am nothing. I cannot do these things, but I can hold them up in the hand, open that hand, let it go, and watch how delicious that emptiness, that knowing nothing, that believing nothing, but just get down to the word be. I'm just going to be. I'm not going to try to know. I'm just going to be, and I'm going to walk, and I'm going to show up, and I'm going to experience. And along the way will come those things that I then know. Not because someone told me, but because, there it is. There it is. Knowing is not one of our 5 physical senses. Knowing is intuition. Knowing is trusting the act of letting go. I think believing and faith is the trusting. I believe, or the faith is not the same as putting the body, and I say the body, I mean the being, through it, to come out at the other end with the knowing and experiencing, that act of laying those 5 physical senses down. It goes on and on about letting go, and the words step aside come. We know how, it's like I'm going to try to get out of this chair. What happens? No, I'm going to get out of this chair. I'm going to try to let go of this thought. No, I'm going to let go of this thought. I'm going to move to God, presence, now. Take no thought. Take no thought for what you shall eat, drink, wear, and there it is. All those things I need to function at this level, they're present, they're presented here, now. Drop the rock. We say that a lot, drop the rock. How do I stop doing this, that, or the other thing? Through an action. You just walk away. There's a Native American saying, and I love it. I can just picture it. I can picture a Native American with that surrendered face, that seasoned face, turning at something that he knows he has no business being involved in, no need to pick up the sword, but to lay it down and say, I walk away. And that's what we do with these images, this illusion, these movie pictures that we've written and gone to great detail just to entertain ourselves or others. I walk away. When it gets too ugly, I walk away. I lay it down. I give it over. And then we can move into 4 wonderful, wonderful principles. And they're not just nouns, they are actions. They are verbs, they are actions. The first one is acceptance. Accepting that I'm wanting somebody to be different than they are, and maybe myself. So many truth students, we work so hard on getting us different. We're just not living up to what we've decided we should be. And there it is, that wonderful word in this question here, agenda. I have an agenda of what I should be, if only. But God can only meet me where I am, right here, right now, every bit of it, good, bad, or indifferent. Here it is. Do with it as you see fit. God, I know not. God really knows how to mold that which is pliable, that which lets go, that which is movable, like potter's clay. But if we've already stiffened, when the wind of life comes and starts blowing at us, we can't bend like the willow, and we snap. But that's okay too. Back we come. Back to it is I. It is I. We walk away once again. So we have the 4 principles, and I can stand on these like a rock. When I don't know what to do, I can stand on these 4 principles: acceptance, surrender, forgiveness, and gratitude. Acceptance is what is. The wind is blowing. I don't have to like it. The dog is barking. I don't have to like it, but dogs bark and wind blows, and that's the way it is. So can I accept right here where I am as it is? Can I surrender to, if it needs to be different, there's a power, there is a spirit force that can make the adjustments necessary if I step aside and walk away from thinking I have to fix it or fix them. And then I move to forgiveness, forgiving. It's time for me to give it over. Time for me to stop writing the agenda. Forgive it over. Let it go. Walk away. Ante up. If you're not winning at the game, get out of the game. Ante up. Walk away. If it doesn't feel good, we no longer put ourselves in abusive situations. We walk away. Or we start seeing them differently. And with that, I need the help of God to see it. You know, God, let me see with your eyes. Let me hear with your ears. And then the last one, gratitude. Gratitude is simply a great attitude. It's pretty simple, huh? Great attitude. So living in those 4 rocks, we can have a pretty decent, pleasant day. And if the day's not going great, I can start it immediately all over again. For you see, the very first sin, so-called missing the mark of humankind, was believing in good and evil, believing in judgment. This is good, this is not good. All of that takes me from God. I become separate, and there I am, lost, alone, abandoned. But who did the abandoning? I did. I separated myself from God because I decided it all should be different. I should be different. So let's let God meet us right here where we are and pick us up and continue to carry us step by step along this path of I until we know deep within our being we can stand on it. And those are the, axioms that Joel gave us. He said these are anchors. These are anchors. The omnis, the 3 omnipresence, one presence, omniscience, one knowing, just one, just I, knowing, I, presence, and omnipotent, I, power. On the I path, rather, there it is, presence, power, knowing. And I can walk away from the movie, walk away from the agenda. Ah, what peace. What peace. Let's be quiet now.